We are back from a more than extended break there. Harrisburg just came off of a nice 2-0, taking down Tiffin over in the Varsity Premier Division. Now, we're moving over to Open Premier here in that hybrid conference. We've got Baker University. We've got University of California, Santa Barbara. Baker coming into this week 4-0. UCSB 3-2, if I'm remembering correctly. So UCSB does have one more game.
Yep.
This will be their last game of the season. To try to make it a nice 4-2 record would be a nice way to end things off. Baker, of course, we'd have to check. They might even have a double header, maybe a double header tonight as well. We saw that with Rocket League yesterday, where a few of these teams had some double headers just to finish reschedules, finish out that season, make sure you play your full 6 games. But Baker still undefeated for the time being.
Yeah, Baker undefeated. UCSB looking to stay above 500, get into the win column, and gear up for the playoffs. And without further ado, let's take a quick look at both schools, both squads, and let's see who's going to be stepping up to the mantle today. For the Baker side, it is Fate, Riceball, and Demon. Ladder Moves, and Nami. And UCSB, it is Screegy, CS Rusty, Easy, Ghost, and Pristine.
A nice, solid roundup there. I wonder if CS Rusty maybe came from that CS
so Baker is second
place,
UCSB is fifth. Just get that in there quick.
Okay, unless perfect. So there might be, maybe there's like a 5-0 team right now, because Baker being second place while being undefeated, it is a Cumberland team that is in that number 1 spot there in Open Premier. So that definitely checks another Cumberland roster.
They are the Playfly Grim Reapers.
At this point, that's what it feels like, especially in Valorant. And, we talk about that school enough. Let's leave it to when they are actually on the stream. Let's hype up these teams right now. And, let's check out exactly where we're going to be heading during this series here.
Oh, it is going to be Fracture Map 1, Lotus Map 2, and then Icebox coming in as Map 3. 2 series, 2 Ascent dodges. Let's get it. Baker obviously coming in as the favorites. UCSB looking to, make a small upset. They are a little bit behind in the standings. We said the playoffs are getting ready to gear up. And now we're going to see on Fracture, a map that I don't think I've casted in probably over a year, which is insane because when I was doing a lot of CVAL, it was Fracture every single series. Yep. And it was a lot of the West Coast teams playing Fracture. It was UBC and a couple other squads. I think SFU and SJ were big Fracture proponents as well. But
what was the team in the West at that point that was not like under a school's name? Was it Demons or something? Or
the Demigods?
Demigods.
UCSB,
that's what
those are my boys, man. I miss those guys.
Yeah, that was I remember they were running the tables over there in the West as well.
Leaf Koki, the squad, man.
Yes, sir. And I'm seeing right now. It looks like maybe AXS might be a maybe like a tier 2, tier 3 team that this. Believe we have, that would be Baker on that attacking side.
They do look like they are some kind of
I
thought it was Moist for a second,
right
Moist X Shopify, and then I realized it was AXS.
Yeah.
So that is not going to be that, but
that's a very cool collab as well in the space.
I'm mad they did a $20 jersey with shipping when they announced like the merger, and I'm mad I didn't buy one. It was $20 to get a jersey shipped, like all included.
I've always been specifically Moist. I mean Shopify Rebellion. Yeah, of course, Critical, but not only that, but literally that whole Moist esports in general started because Critical wanted to send a Smash player to a tournament, and it just exploded from there. And we all know esports can end up we all know esports can end up feeling and being a bit of a money pit. So the fact that you have a lot of these people, Critical, obviously Disguised, Toast with Disguise there, being very open about losing money but just wanting to support esports is very awesome to see. Moist started out in the Smash. They expanded, right? Now we've got that whole collab right there. But we're here into the Fracture, and one thing that surprised me a little bit, UCSB, no Neon.
Yeah, I guess because they're starting off on the defense, you maybe want to go, I was going to say more, defensive Taylor, but they've got triple flashes, double flashes, I cannot count. They've got, obviously, the Teo, and they've got the Breach. Ray's getting picked up as their duelist. I guess maybe they figure the Raze is going to be better on defense. The paint shells, a little bit easier to play. You can kind of just throw them at some of these site entrances instead of kind of needing to run around the map and try to get something cooking in that way. The attacking Neon, definitely not a surprise, obviously. The ultimate space taker and creator. And, I mean, folks, just look at the minimap. You tell me if Neon would enjoy running around. It's basically like a Mario Kart track. Take a peep at the top left corner. It's basically like We're turning real left real fast, and we're doing that over and over again.
Real left.
Rusty spot the stealth drone. Salvo, not going to connect onto anybody. A little bit of info possibly. The ult orb will go over to Rusty. And a few kills going back and forth. That's Easy and Nami both going 1 for 1. And then the double concuss out of the Neon. And about 7 million bullets out of the Frenzy result in a double kill.
Yeah, great.
Frenzy sighting, rare.
But that's Fracture, right? We kind of bringing it back to what we saw on this map years ago. And yeah, Neon, of course, loving the Frenzy. But I remember, especially in that that A-side hallway there, that Frenzy has always been strong. And
I love Neon, man.
The Baker side coming into this game undefeated. I did just check it out as well. It seems like ASX is Aspire X Swarm, like a VCL playing in like a lot of those Knights.
I've heard of Swarm
playing
before.
in a lot of those Knights Arena things there. And yeah, on the roster, like I'm seeing ladder moves, Fate, Demon there. So definitely, I don't see Rice Ballin, so maybe a newer addition to that roster.
It's like the picture of the military guys.
There also is there's an AXS Eric who, not Eric like the name, but AERIC, and it does say they play for Baker College as well as Aspire. So in terms of where things are at, obviously
it's an active team then for sure.
Rosters change. Yeah, their last like official game was in a Knights Arena tournament there back in November. So not too far away, and I guess there hasn't really been much.
It's been all pro circuit.
Yeah, it's been all. If you didn't make it into Challengers, there hasn't been much to play for a Tier 3, Tier 2 team.
Yeah, it's the NA Challengers with M80, Envy coming back, all those squad, which honestly really good to see again. Envy has just picked up
We're seeing a ton of collegiate players in there as well, which is always beautiful to see.
A few of our former schoolmates, Paint, Caillou, both playing for I think Shopify, and then
some other people. We saw Okinos over there who was on
Oki's
Blinn.
on M80.
Yeah, a lot of these like very high tier collegiate players are starting to crack into that pro scene, which is always great to see because, Valorant, I think, took a little bit longer to do it than something like Rocket League.
They had to get past the retired CS Overwatch pros.
That was the biggest thing.
And once those guys all decided they didn't want to commit to playing pro Val because it's 18 hours of playing a day.
You need the born and bred Valorant players who, maybe they played some CS, but for the most part, now we're like 5-6 years in.
The kid who was 14 when Val came out that had played CS for 4 years, then you get Val, and they just have their prime. I say their prime, 14 to 19, but people are playing for 30 years old.
That is what prime is in esports at this
point.
Quote, unquote. Fate gets caught off by a concuss, and NJS gets to clear out a few there. But you can't stop Demon with this Vandal. Demon's still alive, not for long, though. Yeah, the Thrifty does come through. UCSB definitely turned that around.
Yeah, I get it. Was just kind of a bit of a fiesta over on the A site. Somebody from Baker got picked off over on the B site, just around that rotation area, and then everybody else just floods the A site, and they just win their ones, and that is exactly how you get it done with this multiple flash comp with the Vise that can cut off some of these angles, making the most out of that util, and stealing away that round 2 from Baker, which is definitely going to help to flip the economy in the early game. You're basically giving yourself that early bonus round, and possibly giving yourself that chance to be up 2-1 after you lose pistol, so great job out of UCSB to kind of hang in there and at least grab that one back. Let's see if there's anyone super close to the ultimates. Not really anything so far. No one's having that insane 7 to 8 kill first couple of rounds. We see Demon already on the 4. Picking up a Bucky, no armor. Everybody else, it is basically the bargain bin for weapons. But we'll see if Baker can at least find a few kills here and sniff somebody out.
Stim Beacon here.
Stim Beacon from the Brim to get things started. Everyone want to run in there. I mean, you've got some machines. You've got some machine guns and shotguns for the most part, so should have been easy to walk in there, but easy, it is not.
Easy does it.
He was once a thug from around the way.
Oh, we are deep in the bag. We're going to see now. 2-1 for UCSB. You lose pistol, you win the next 2. Definitely impressive, especially after a fairly dominant pistol where wasn't particularly close at the end. It obviously was just the pistol, but always interesting to see a team that's able to just come out the next round and the round after and kind of just run things. We see Easy in there just getting free kills out of mid over toward B, and that's what happens on Fracture. If you don't check those corners, the thing with Fracture, you have to just assume that someone is behind you. After
pretty much at all times,
30 seconds into the round, because no one's
because of how
aping the zip right away. Yeah, no one's going to just straight monkey mode the zip immediately. But after the next...
I mean, I would, but...
Yeah, I mean, pro teams have tried it too, and to varying degrees. If you have a Neon that can slip everybody, take that zip, and then just fast lane it straight down. You could possibly get something going, but Rusty getting a little bit antsy there toward CT spawn is going to get taken out. Cypher's going to take that zip back over, and I think it's going to be a call for B.
Yeah, long rotations around here. That's the thing. The attack has to take much longer rotations than that defense, of course. You can already see Vice has been chilling on that B site. Brim makes it over. Breach makes it over quite quickly. But still do have player advantage on that Baker side as they double back. Check out that mini-map. Everyone's headed back to A. Eventually, right, somebody's going to pop some util. This UCSB squad is going to know things are going down at A.
Yeah, they've already got a pretty good inkling when they didn't hear anybody the entire time. Salvo's going to go live for NJS. Maybe found a bullet there, but nothing more than that. Nami's going to play underneath. Two players playing the top side behind the half wall. They are very low on HP. That is not a safe space to be. Nami and Easy going back and forth on the Brim and the Breach. Still a 4v3 for Baker, though. UCSB, they've got a very low HP Breach as well. NJS has a drone, has a salvo as well. Could potentially try to get something going. Not going to, actually, is going to connect with the util. Everybody getting spammed down behind the box, but Baker, they are going to win out the trades. That is a fantastic fault line onto Easy. Trying to shake off the stun, shake the cobwebs out. Flash of his own to return. 3 players lined up, and it takes Fate to find the knockdown, and Baker tying the game.
2-2, Baker started off strong. Had some rough rounds there as they kind of just started walking into gunfire, but now taking things a lot slower on the attack. That double back there was all they needed to really open up the site.
Double back, call that twice baked.
Yeah. It's getting...
That one was for me, not you.
Yeah, of course, of course.
To anyone that had to hear that, I sincerely apologize.
All missiles away.
Twice baked, refried.
Listen, there's at least 7 or 8 more, I'm sure. I might even have to open Google or something later on to...
What are all the ways you can cook things twice?
Oh, Demon, I thought maybe...
Reverse seared.
Actually, Demon runs out of the overdrive already. He looked to maybe get a couple scans. The double stun goes out. At least it buys space for Baker to plant, but the Neon ultimate maybe going to go to the wayside, and he's only got a classic as well, so this Neon is going to need to reposition, hopefully steal away a weapon, maybe just be the entry point. Jumping clicks. He got both of those. Okay, no, he didn't. I thought he got both kills with the classic. Fate was able to grab the first one. That might be a weapon over to the Neon, though.
I don't think the Neon grabbed anything.
Maybe not. Either way, at least it's 5v3. The paint shell's on the ladder, and now the showstopper at a Rusty. UCSB not wanting to give this round away, and this is a very bad spot for Nami. You are done so, but not before the trade onto NJS. Demon might fall to the paint shell. We'll have to back off. The spam is going to be good. Diffuse finally getting started, but they've got pings, and Demon now has a gun with bullets. And Baker recovering very nicely after their early bottle job, and they've got the lead again.
Yeah, Demon at 7 and 3. Really opening things up on this Neon.
Got the Brimstem Neon, how fast she was.
Just sprinting through this map. Attack or defense, it does not matter. Defense just means you have even quicker rotations, and yeah, it ended up just being the kill. No, Demon did find the kill onto the Breach, so that was
an
interesting.
Both.
Yeah, that was an interesting way that those bullets landed, but nonetheless, grabbed up a double. I don't think there was a Vandal grab by Demon at that point, but then a teammate went down. You're able to pick up something like...
And they won the last few, so they are chilling. And the beauty of Fracture, you can kind of hit any site from any which way, and this time they're looking up towards tower. Screegy just going to soak that util, not taking too much damage. Down to 83 with that 15 extra armor, no regen though. Everyone from Baker, looks like they're going to hit that rotation. Screegy drops the Steel Thorns and just going to back off for the time being. Baker's going to reset. Try to get this maybe pushed over to A, but yeah. And
the whole squad.
Because they've got ladder moves, making sure that there's not going to be an optic play happening here.
That's very true. Yeah, that Cypher being over on the other side. As that insurance policy
is... babysitter. Come on, kids.
Slowly but surely across that zip line. Now, this UCSB side, they have to be expecting just...
I think they
entry
have no
from
idea.
Any side, yeah.
They've got no info, no idea, but Rolling Thunder out of Baker, that at least gives away some, or Orbital Strike, sorry, it's the Brimstone.
But they did it on B, and look where everyone's actually headed.
That was a beautiful fake into tower, and now you get a free plant.
It was just Nami and Fate there who are actually over towards that B side. just to pop enough util to make you question what's actually happening. The plant should go through. Aftershock comes down. Don't think it's going to find a kill. Demon and Fate, first two in there. As now you've got 3 players on a retake on a round that could tie up the game right now.
Look at this setup, though. They're not sniffing this spike. Demon is in the perfect place. Knocks down 3, and then Riceball grabbing the last one of the round. It was a perfect setup out of Baker. Great orbital strike. You called it, too. They orbital strike over in tower on B. They already made some noise over by tower earlier in the round, so UCSB goes, great. They dropped an ulti. We've got info, and Baker saying, not so fast. We're sniffing over the A site, and we don't see a soul over here. Free plant, 3-round win, and I think only 1 player dying in the process, so that money is looking good.
Yeah, no concerns in terms of the economy or the Baker side of things. A lot of concerns over on the Santa Barbara side. That's an opening pick if I've ever seen one. That was down, what, near Dish?
Yeah, just challenged him up in Dish. Maybe he went for the orb.
Yeah, and since they turned, I mean, this is, once again, years old at this point. Since they turned it into just one lane and you can't actually walk around the Dish, it's much more of a, hey, I'm taking this aim duel at the starting of the round.
Yeah, that was an interesting setup to try to fight around, was like, right when the round starts, let's flip a coin to see if I get first blood or get blooded. Like, fantastic. Now Baker, though. 5-man patrol over toward the B site. Easy, Sheriff in hand, full. Hit a util, but zoned off by the Aftershock and the Brim Smoke. Could maybe look to try to get cheeky and find a kill here. The fault line, that's going to go through. Not going to stop any plant. Aftershock going for that default spot, but they're going to plant it behind box instead. So a slight adjustment pays dividends for Baker, and they've already got the first 2 kills. And considering the weaponry, they should be looking pretty clean to close it out.
Yeah, the stim was burnt up by that Brim as well. Ghost and NJS try to break out now. You've got Easy trapped in their own spawn, trying to fight their way out with a Sheriff. Shots going wide, and a flawless round for Baker as they're looking to be on top of things here. The biggest, I guess, flaw right now in Baker's play was that second round where they just lost off of a force from you, or wasn't a force, right, from UCSB.
No, it was just like
just a couple nice pistol kills and
like
grabbed
you said,
up
they
the
just
Vandal
ran into
as well.
gunfire. You said it perfectly early. They just kind of ran and got shot. They just
and then
they
the
couldn't
same
find a
thing
trade.
happened on the follow-up round.
Couldn't find a trade
on that third round. And now after that, the economy is stabilized, if not boomed for the side of Baker.
Yeah, they are tied to the inverse of the market currently.
Yeah,
so
they
are
took
doing
their
quite well.
COVID discount on the stocks there.
Yeah, they are doing quite well for themselves, especially after, like we said, dropping. Usually you go down 2-1. It is usually disaster for a good part of the first half, but Rolling Thunder, and instantly Screeky's going to challenge and find the kill. So I love to see UCSB getting aggressive, trying to make sure they're proactive in stopping the plant, but I think that's only going to be a slight delay in the plans of Baker. They're going to be able to find the plant. Rolling Thunder getting invested out of Easy, and the Neural Theft getting put in by Baker. So both of these teams are dumping everything into this round, and so far so good for UCSB. The trades are going back and forth, though. Demon finds one. Rusty, good answer. The overdrive's going to get activated. I don't know about that one, Chief. A little bit of an overheat on the overdrive, and Baker now into the 3v1. Ladder moves the last one alive. Kills Tuba in the box. Can't convert the third, though. And Ghost is going to steal that one away for UCSB. And that one was chaotic.
Yeah, it was stuck in the corner like the whole time because of the paint shells, and just had to fight that out. Ooh. I really did too, and being able to shut down the player on the defuse there definitely felt really good. But Ghost able to clutch it up, keep things within reason here, 5-3. Perfectly reasonable scoreline to be playing. And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, too, like, we're feeling Fracture's a little more attacker-sided just because of the freedom you kind of have as the attackers there, correct?
That used to be the thing.
Who knows at this point with
the new agents and everything? Yeah, that's the only thing. It's like, theoretically, they should be, like, it's like how League win rate, it should be nowhere higher than, like, 54, 55%.
Yeah.
It should be relatively 50-50 with certain,
it always
like Lotus
ends up
early.
like that.
Lotus early favors attack because you can hit all 3 sites in 10 seconds. Less. As long as you double blast pack over Mound, you are instantly on site, and you are getting rinsed by a Neon. Demon is locked in this game.
Demon was full sprint. Never had a gun out.
Yeah, the game feels, CS2, it feels like you can run and gun a little more than CSGO.
Yeah.
This game, it feels like even after the Neon, I think they nerfed the first shot slide accuracy, but it still feels like in this game, I've seen a lot of people complain, even on Twitter, in between games, I was just looking at stuff, and people were saying, man, the run and gun feels like it is RNG, but it feels
felt
a
very
lot less
strong
flippy.
in this game.
Yes,
especially on something specifically, right? We're looking at a Spectre in Skrigi's hand. That is a weapon where you can literally just W key and be confident that a good chunk of your shots are going to be hitting.
We see with the Stingers a lot too. When they were, it seemed a little better. You would just run and people would just get fried 30 feet away. Even in pro matches, just getting lasered with SMGs because you just run, land the first headshot. If I land one more bullet, I win the fight now. So I'm flipping a coin however many times over. But for Baker so far, all good on their side. They're able to get that round as well, stop that potential UCSB run, force them back onto the pistols, the frenzies, the sheriffs. And meanwhile, their economy, yeah, they're still sitting pretty.
And obviously, defense is a lot different than something like a post plant, but the way Baker has been playing post plants, I'm very confident about them moving into the defensive half as well. All you really have to do is lock up a nice like 8-4, 9-3 here on the attacking side, and I think Baker could be pretty confident to take this map through, but we'll have to see what UCSB has in store right now. As we've seen great rounds out of them, it just seems when they get overwhelmed by Baker, that it feels like there's nothing they can do.
When it rains, it pours.
Exactly. And honestly, on the flip side, most of the rounds that they won, at least those first two, were literally just them overwhelming the Baker side, and no responses there, whether it be easy, picking up like a 2K on the entry, something like that. And just the kills kind of domino in this game. It has felt that like once one kill comes through, the next, 4 to 9 are feeling pretty close to follow.
UCSB is playing all over the map right now, and unfortunately, they're playing everywhere except for one of the 2 sites on the map. So they did a lot of info searching and attempt to gather info, but Ghost could be the linchpin though. Sheriff only in hand though. Again, almost forgot UCSB not really having the best of weapons, but
not having any money.
Yeah, that's why I almost would have liked to see them just 5-stack one of the sites or put 3 players hard on a site and just say, okay, if they're going to go plant this, we'll call for a hard rotate, get those other 2 players over, because right now, you've given Baker a free plant and about 25, 30 seconds off the clock, but we talked about when those guns are frying, Baker could potentially be facing some trouble, but you've got Demon just shredding these defenders as they go for the retake. And Skrigi, you've got a Sheriff, you might as well go for it. No, someone's behind the box. Which angle is he going to peek, though? Rice Ball. Gonna throw a shoulder, and yeah, you're getting absolutely domed. Unfortunately, yeah, it looks great, but it won't win you in the round. But if you're UCSB, it shows you they are very capable of shooting back. They definitely can find some kills here and there. Unfortunately, would have liked to have found those ones maybe just a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I don't think shooting back has necessarily been the issue for Santa Barbara here. Yeah, we've had those rounds where Demon will just pick up a 3K and the round's over before the plant even comes. Yeah, 18-6. Like, there's no questioning the value of this Neon right now. But yeah, Skrigi right there. Very, very clean kills. Unfortunate that the time runs out, but that's the way the retakes work. You got to be swift on them. Time is of the essence there. Skrigi brings himself to 7-7. Maybe try to make things positive in the future.
Are they going to go for a trap play on this Cypher? Maybe trying to bait him into Dish, but he's got that camera to watch tower in case anyone tries to get active, and then obviously
he's in the camera right now, not moving.
No, yeah, that's why he's just crouched behind the box, so you can cover yourself from Dish, and then the camera's going to watch tower, your team's going to scan for info. Armageddon going to get activated, and it is going to find the kill, actually. I thought maybe NJS would get out of that one, but it is Armageddon for UCSB, and they're losing their Teo early on, so they're not going to have that own ultimate for themselves to try to use later in the round to dissuade one of these pushes or possibly play for that retake. Rusty still just committed to Dish here, and this Cypher committed to just being the paparazzi. This guy will be on the camera as long as he needs, because the A site is slowly being worked. And here we go. Whee!
There's 2 kills, but Skrigi always making themselves known. Grabs another 2, and yeah, that's Spike down in a great position as well. Yeah, you're going to have to deal with these players on the site, but someone like Easy can hold down this door pretty easily. No pun intended. That might not have been the aftershock you were looking for. Clips that wall just a little bit. And Rice ballin'. Look at this flank right here. There's 2. Easy and Skrigi down. Ghost caught in an aftershock, as everyone should just be able to pick up this spike, walk back into the site. Who needs the plant? Just take down Fate. grab a little extra cash for the end of the round. Maybe this does come down, yeah.
Just got that in time. Demon 18-7. The rest of the team doing exactly what they need to. Everybody positive or at least even. And the util has obviously been on point. We saw the fake orbital strike to set up a free plant. The Armageddon takes out NJS the second that round starts. And Baker, what was a bit of a sloppy start after that round 2 and 3. Give credit to UCSB for playing their hearts out early on, but Baker now on a string of 7 out of the last 8 rounds going over to them. The ultimates looking pretty damn good for them as well. It is the last round, so Demon maybe can grab an orb, grab a kill, and get the overdrive. And I do think UCSB, just off of this POV, probably not the best weapons.
Yeah, they had to think long and hard about their buys there. It took 25 seconds just for people to start buying up some weaponry, any kind of equipment, as, yeah, limited funds. You got to think exactly how you want to use those. Orbital Strike, burn it through at the end, even finds a headshot onto Demon, and Ghost makes it out basically unscathed there. Does get tapped up by a few, but that was nice to be able to bring it down to a 3-on-3, and you took Demon out of the picture. Rice Ballin gets out of the Teo ult there. Rusty does have the showstopper available. I don't know if Rusty's going to be able to make it in time. We'll find one.
They have Orbital Strike. It's over.
Yeah, and you brought yourself down to 30 health to get in this position.
Orbital Strike, you just hide in.
Yeah, Nami just runs away.
Yeah.
And the second you hear anything on that spike,
open sky. Yeah, Rusty, there's not really a point in dying to this spike. I would probably just go hop the defuse at this point. I mean, you're not going to win anyway, so maybe just
take a gunfight
try
or
to
two
steal
right
a half or something, try to get a kill. Yeah, ultimately, you're not going to get an ult charge for the second half off a kill, so there's not really anything positive you can do there besides maybe making one of the greatest plays we have ever seen, but that would require Nami to do some heavy trolling and decide to not click that X button on the keyboard, but Baker, they figure it out at the end of the first half. They take the 9-3 lead. And I don't even think their comp is actually that bad for defense. You've got so many ways to stall a push. Neon has the double stuns. Teo's got a lot of stuff to stall. Brim's got the molly. Breach has a bunch of flashes you can use, and obviously the aftershock and the fault line. So there's a lot of different ways to kind of annoy UCSB and make it hard to get on some of these sites, but I want to see if they're able to use Rusty and just kind of explode onto some of these sites and create space. Otherwise, it could be a little bit tricky for them.
Yeah, and like I said, in that attacking half, I'm quite confident about Baker on this defense just based on how the post plants look.
Yep.
Of course, different situations, but still sitting there, holding an angle, waiting for players to peek in. Demon does go down, but not before 2 are traded out from Nami.
Ooh, the spike. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, now you've got everyone. They have to run down Dish, try to find this spike, but you are walking into Hellfire right there. This is going to be a crazy peak. 3 players go through. Rusty finds one, but eventually they all fall to Rice Ballin. 3K on the pistol. Feels good for the Teo there, who at 12-5, honestly didn't feel like they were finding a ton of kills.
I think he had like 2, 3, or 4Ks.
Yeah, it was just with Demon picking up what felt like a 3K every round. It was kind of hard to even see anyone else in the kill feed there, but that Teo definitely involved. Nami, of course. Fate's found some good ones as well. And, yeah.
Yo, W, bro.
Oh,
I'm low, man. Imagine
Where's
EW on
when you need
EW on Neon.
That'd be crazy.
Basically just like putting up your Lucian, just giving him full Ardent Sensor, all that. Now Screegy. Short corner with the Sheriff being very, very disciplined, but there is a very angry Neon on the other side, but you diffed him. That is first blood to UCSB, and that is exactly how you have to play some of these Fracture comps. You can kind of just wait for someone to overplay their hand, go for a little bait and switch. Screegy got a little more 360ing this Brim. Doing a little pirouette, but ultimately Nami, once again, the one to find the kill. The Battle Brimstone paying dividends so far, and UCSB finally going to go for the plant. I guess they were doing one more round of sort of insurance sweeps, making sure nothing was going to pop up. NJS, good timing on the stealth drone's going to find one. Rusty in a bit of an interesting spot. Those Guardian wall bangs, little bit better than the Sheriff. Yeah, my bullets are a little bigger.
There's the run and gun.
And then, of course, the run and gun to finish things off. Easy going to get tagged with a flash. UCSB there, slowly but surely melting around the site, and Nami is just popping off the last 3 rounds.
Yeah, that was not going to be an easy one for Easy, as Nami picked up, yeah, the one just outside towards that spawn area for the attackers. You had the one in garage as well. Is that what we're calling it now? I completely forget all the callouts on this map.
Good thing with Valorant, if you look in the top left,
yeah, it does show you.
What not all the slang names
yeah,
people
exactly.
use.
Like
yes,
it's the official.
Or like on Lotus,
quote,
there's it's like hill, mound. There's like 3 names people
like
use for
I've got those, but
tree is tree.
I'm trying to think. Are we call? Yeah, down at B site though. Is it elbow or is it garage? What are we? I can't remember. The one with the sliding door in there.
Yeah, I don't think there's technically. I know the mid connector to B or A, I believe is called canteen. That might be the one before A. It's basically elbow. Listen, if it's shaped like an elbow, it's an elbow.
It's an elbow. I like to call them the macaroni sometimes.
That is. Listen, everybody would know what you're talking about. That's the good thing. As long as they know exactly what you're calling, then hey, more power to you. And right now, Baker have to kind of fight World War III just to get the spike, but UCSB, look at where the X's are in this round. There was 7 or 8 kills in the back corner.
Just near dish. That's where every single kill was.
Oh, and they have the spike. Oh, yep. Screegy, you've gone big before, though. We have seen the Sheriff getting active in the server. Yeah, if I'm Baker, I'm not sure I'm entertaining this unless it is with 2. Nami, once again, finding yet another kill. And right now, Baker, 12-3 already on map point.
We've seen some insanely strong maps, and the maps that have kind of been brought back into the rotation as well. Obviously, Fracture's been in here for a bit, but we just haven't seen it.
I do like Fracture a lot.
I don't have an issue with the map. I think it's just so vastly different from every other map in the game that I feel like a lot of teams don't want to pick it.
Casting it to playing it, way better, though.
Oh, 100%.
Fracture's never like my first, this is the map pick. It's like, great to watch because I love the rotations. I love when Neon
can be
played.
Very fast. It can be a very quick map.
Yeah.
A lot of aggression can be had here. Hall, I guess, is the official call out there, but I think we're rocking with Macaroni for the time being.
Now Nami. Up in rope. Early info. Stealth drone. Not going to find anything. Camera over on the B site as well, or A site rather. Rusty. Going to possibly get active. Easy going to take the route underneath tunnel, but it looks like Demon is going to be watching that just in case the flank comes through, and Riceball finds the first kill, but this might actually open a window up for Easy, because Demon's going to divert his attention, and I lied. He was very, very disciplined, turned on a dime, and dispatched of Easy with the quickness. That's a good flash onto NJS, and I've got a feeling this map might be coming to an end.
You don't have much in the tank here.
And Screegy is not close.
Yeah, it's a 2v4. Maybe NJS just couldn't pick a target there, and ends up falling. Screegy now literally has to save the game, and you've had some solid rounds before, but I don't know if this is the one. You're just walking into too much right now.
Yeah, and again, they have the orbital strike, so I'd be tempted to just let him plant, wait for the audio cue and be like, that's hilarious.
Then just pop the orbital strike. That would be the BM of all time. That was the BM of all time. Demon 1. Wow. B hopping around.
Demon 1?
Or Demon, yeah.
The way he's playing, though.
Might as well be at this point.
World champion. And on Duelist at least, too. And listen,
I know the name Demon 1. That's what it is.
I was like, he was just farmed
and was completely disrespectful during it. I remember
that. And now
he's
not in the league, I don't think. Well, he's on a team, but they're not in T1 anymore. But
yeah, that was a crazy championship. I do remember
NA,
that one.
Baby.
But
we got one.
we got the one.
We'll never get one in
just
league,
like the one in CS that we got. But
NA's good for one, and sometimes only one. But we will be good for the one. And Baker, they were very good for the first one. They won, I think, 13-3 is the final score, and they were down 2-1 to start that game. They won pistol, lost the anti-eco, and then they lose the bonus as well, and then they win 13-2. 12 out of the next 13 rounds go in Baker's favor, and a lot of the rounds not being close, but give a lot of credit to Screegy, especially making a lot of great plays with the Sheriff, a lot of great shots. Unfortunately, it felt like every time it was literal weight of the world on their shoulders, and you can only do so much with the Sheriff so many times against
it was either Screegy dies first or Screegy dies last in a 1v3
after killing 4 people,
and it's like, what are you gonna do at that point? I think the lead started to run away from UCSB a little too quickly. Demon, of course, absolute demon in the server. The name is very fitting there. We saw also the Tejo there.
Yep.
I'm blanking on the name now. Riceball, and on the Tejo.
On the other side.
Yeah, NJS was on that UCSB side. But we're moving to Lotus for map 2. I think players are getting ready. For the sake of things, we will send it to a quick break, let some bathroom breaks come through, lobby be reset up there. But Baker coming off of a 1 first map win, sitting here 1-0 in the series. UCSB, you got to battle back. You want to make this a 4-2 season for yourselves. You don't want to be in that 3-3 situation like we saw Tiffin end up in earlier today. So we'll send it off to a break. Make sure you are back here for map 2 for all the action in Open Premiere. We'll be right back. Back for Agent Select. On to Lotus. Kind of forgetting whose pick was whose exactly. Gonna double check with Prod there, but so this is the UCSB pick here on Lotus. Baker had that Fracture pick. Definitely a little bit of a curveball for some of these collegiate teams is the Fracture pick. Maybe that comes from you know, Aspire X blanket on the second word there. Swarm, that was it. Maybe they're a little bit more confident on the Fracture. Have been around for a little bit there. UCSB. I see the ISO from Skrigi, which I'm kind of liking, just considering how strong we saw Skrigi in the 1v1s.
I don't hate it.
During that game, that first map. Pop onto the ISO, guarantee yourself a 1v1, easy on the chamber.
It is a go-kill comp.
Most definitely. On the attacking side, we're seeing pretty typical here. I guess the only curveball would be Demon on the Yoru, but we did see a Yoru last series.
It's OP.
Yeah, it's very strong.
It's the best duelist in the game.
For the player that just came off of like a 20-kill game on Neon, pretty happy to see them on something like the Yoru. Rice Ball, and we have to assume that Breach Squared is going to be locked in. There it is.
Yep, Teo and Breach for Fate and Rice Ball once more. So lots of flashes, lots of way to entry, and obviously the Viper on the back end. Actually, I just realized no Viper on the defending side on Lotus, which is
one smoke or two smokes, I guess, if you're counting the two dark covers.
Two smokes, and you're waiting about 35-40 seconds for the next one to pop up. So
you're really hoping you can just run forward with this.
The more I look at this, it looks a little bit yucky for defense, but I'm willing to hold out hope because ultimately, if your left click is just doing better, the ISO and the Raze and the chamber pick are going to look phenomenal. But you don't really have a lot of ways to stop a site take. ISO, yes, he has that slow. Fade and Raze can, you know, somewhat slow down a push. It's very limited util and it's very fast to use. Chamber, you're basically repositioning for kills. Yes, I guess you have the slows and the trips, but not to the degree that Cypher can kind of cut off some of that space. So I'll be curious to see if Baker sees this comp and goes, if we just 5-hit a site, can they stop us? If we hit from 2 or 3 ways, like once we wait for that Omen smoke to go down and wait for Fade to pop her haunt and everything, I don't really know if there's a way they can slow it down besides just finding headshots and letting the gunny loose. So definitely interested to see. I'm sure UCSB has played this comp on this map. Lotus has been around for a very good while at this point. It is probably the most, I would say, universally liked map in Valorant. I don't hear too many teams complain about them not enjoying the pace or how it plays. So I'm sure they're going to have something cooked up, but it's definitely feels high risk, high reward.
Ooh, and the Baker side has already walked in, mainly just through their own dark cover, and Easy is in an interesting position here. The second these smokes drop, they're going to be possibly in a world of hurt, but the paranoia opens them up for one. Rice Ball and being behind there feels pretty good as they're able to pick up 2 on the trade. Positive trade for the side of Baker, and now you're down a player on defense, you're getting into a post-plant situation, and you've got no smokes to break this up. You're basically just hoping something like the Fade util can help you out here, or you just shoot better. But right now, not looking like it. Rusty able to shut down ladder moves, maybe even find something like this Breach, find another. Rusty with 4, and that's it. I don't even know what I just watched, but Rusty's popping off on the pistol.
Yeah, call it luck, call it skill, call it Rusty with 4, and UCSB stealing away the first round. I think that ended up being like a 4v3 retake or a 4v2 retake, and Rusty just one-taps everybody back to back to back. I would love to see this again and see exactly how this kind of devolved. We see the first one go through. Hot swaps to the other Ghost with that full clip. Just finds the one tap, and then I think just double dinks him.
And just isolates everything using the mound there as well.
Low state.
Yeah, super calm, super collective. Collected.
Baker's forcing.
Yeah, just Stingers coming out, and kind of the same thing that UCSB did to Baker last map over on Fracture. Just try to win out this second round.
I see, that's half of their util gone. Not actually half, but you just wasted like 30% of your util just going for the race trap.
Meanwhile, all the actions over at C. as this site was basically free to take at the time. Demon goes down first to Skrigi. Of course it's Skrigi with something like the Guardian. Always good for those head taps. Now it's Rusty and Ghost walking into what could be the blender right now. Two players make it out of that smoke, and Fate with the jumping Bucky shots brings it down. Now in a 1v3, this will be a tough situation for Fate as they fall to just the collective firepower of UCSB. That's the second round in the books, and a terrible economy moving into round 3 for Baker off of that force.
Yeah, Demon, I think, just overextended toward Waterfall, got picked before the spike ends up being planted. They stalled out the plant 2 or 3 times with all the util, and I guess that's the name of the game for UCSB. If you have enough util online, and again, I said, if you're hands-checking people with this comp, you're going to find a lot of success. ISO's going to find kills. You can take people to the 1v1 in the, I guess the Coliseum. I couldn't think of a word for it. The cage. Mordecai's are all...
Yeah.
The realm, I suppose.
The Shadow Realm, yeah. Catches your grandpa on a VHS tape.
Happens.
Just happens to the best of us.
Suddenly in a place with upside down stairs.
Yeah.
All confused and stuff.
The labyrinth.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is Pegasus literally kidnapped a blind 14-year-old girl, which is crazy. But
it's a man that knows what he wants.
Yeah, honestly.
Ultimate hour. Foiled again. We're gonna see if
he went down in the end.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Baker can finally foil UCSB's plans as well. That is 3 rounds, 3 plants. Rusty's got a great cross angle. Oh, the head peek and the headshot. Rice ball diffying Rusty. That is a nasty little tap. And Baker, of course, they lose the first 2 rounds in the fashion they did, and now this is the round that they're set up perfectly to win. Yeah, Rice Ball's they're just hitting every shot, folks. I don't know what else to say. It's all headshots, all with the Sheriffs, and now Fate's got a rifle. And it's a 1v1 against Skrigi and the Guardian. Obviously, UCSB didn't have the greatest of weapons yet. Nami, gun down, rather. That's the result you're going to get. Now they're all going to try to tackle Skrigi, and they will find and punish. At least get maybe a few more better guns over. Bulldogs, Guardians, at least gives you a little more oomph on that next attacking round. And
yeah, winning that round was pretty big. Just the
4
fact
players
that we
alive,
brought it
too.
Through, yeah. You get to keep a lot of that weaponry. Yeah, there's a Guardian and a Bulldog, but those aren't too much worse than the rifles.
I see a glass cannon.
I do indeed, yeah. Forces out the op. Nothing else in the pockets of Easy. Not even some armor to keep themselves healthy. Let's see it. Yeah, that op's over by C. Of course, a lot of this util going to be dumped over just on A at the starting of the round. Typical for Lotus.
A much slower round out of Baker. Every other time, they kind of got a feel for where they wanted to go, and then they went for the instant execute. This time, I almost like the slow play a little bit. You obviously have the slow up in B. You still have the operator over by Mound, which is going to be very dangerous. Fake is going to get Rusty, but no one able to go and make that trade. The chamber slow, perfectly placed there out of UCSB, so slow down any potential action. And speaking of getting slowed down, ladder moves. Okay, so he must have spotted. I don't know if he saw the barrel of the op. It's about 50-50. If he saw the pixel through his POV, but either way, they're just going to hit it.
Flash comes through. It's only this chamber here. As you gotta pray and hope that Easy is good for one, and they are. Did take a little bit of damage in the process, but you're good for your pick as that chamber. That's what you want the op to be there for. KO ult comes through. Demon? Okay, it's a lot. I was going to say, it's a lot slower than I expected.
Did at least get the plant amongst everything else, but now that NJS has that second pick and they've got a showstopper, I think this is going to be looking pretty good for UCSB. Showstopper through Waterfall, looking to find one. Ghost with that one, and the Showstopper takes down Ladder, and you are in a 1v4. Baker, Nami is going down, and Santa Barbara with a clean start to Lotus, grabbing their 3rd round, and this comp that I was questioning on defense making me look like a fool.
Yeah, honestly, both of us in that regard, I mean...
Well, they are hand-checking them, like I said, was
it is true. Like, the lack of smokes has definitely been shown, but I don't think it's an issue when you're just winning every single gunfight. Yeah, of course, Easy finding that opening pick.
I guess they figure if we can see who we're shooting and we win...
Who needs to block the sightlines if every sightline is an advantage to us?
Yeah, and if every player is just dead on arrival, basically. And it was 2 retakes, a 3rd one there, and Now it's Baker trying to figure out the money a little bit. They've got enough cash for a few rifles and still having a little bit of credits in the back pocket, so you might as well go for it. Triple Vandal, Guardian, and the Stinger, so getting the full high, low, middle purchase. Ghost maybe lurking toward B for a second. He's going to fall back. Ladder moves. Maybe got an audio cue on somebody pinching from the side of Spawn, and yeah, you're getting tagged, but you do find the kill. Ladder moves, though. Second one on the menu. Skrigi easily able to find the trade, so raise for Viper, I don't think that's necessarily that bad of a trade for UCSB. All those walls, all those smokes, now offline for the rest of the round, and Baker circling back towards A, but that spike still kicking near mid. Skrigi got to be very careful on the jump spot, but everyone's just going to back off and possibly look to see, but they don't have the spike yet.
Yeah, the difference for Baker, at least in losing that Viper, is that they still have another controller in the mix. The Omen is still there.
They need the spike.
I'm always questioning why Baker keeps sending 1v1s into Skrigi, because they know there's like a 70% chance they're going to lose. Skrigi has been insanely strong in the 1v1s.
Oh, no.
But there's rarely a double peek there, and Skrigi just catches Nami off guard. Up in that T-spawn, and now you've got Ghost ripping through these players on the C site. There was a flash that came through. It ended up just kind of being a half flash onto Ghost as Riceball, and being a glimmer of hope in this round, but stuck in a 1v2. Caught in that ISO ultimate. Let's see it, Skrigi. This is where you shine. Drops down, and Riceball wins it. You've got barely any time as NJS just gets to wait on the respawn there. Very unfortunate situation to be in. But hey, you got bragging rights because you won the 1v1 against the ISO, who has that little shield too.
Yeah, it was the double head tap, which is exactly how you have to take that ISO down in the realm. And now it's going to be a timeout from Baker. They're kind of getting slapped around to start off Lotus. It was a severely dominant game one. 13-3. They win 12 out of the last 13. And all of a sudden, those bullets, they are flying straight for the Santa Barbara squad. Everybody right now kind of picking up their weight. Skrigi obviously been so instrumental in finding so many key picks. Lurking like this on the ISO is just that beautiful isolation, no pun intended, that he can give you. And then Ghost, obviously, a massive two-piece to kind of, I would say, save the round, because if Riceball goes unchecked and finds those 2 kills, there is a very real world where UCSB is not able to find that post plan. And then obviously, you know exactly where they're going to respawn. Barrel literally in the back of your head.
Yeah, just Riceball already knows the situation, starts shaking the mouse, is just like, come on.
Maybe he'll miss.
Stuck in the 2v1 there as UCSB with a very strong start to their defensive half here on Lotus. And Baker yet to really have any answers. I mean, you see Nami. Demon is 0-4 on the Yoru, has yet to really get anything started. And hence why they're losing what feels so one-sided here for UCSB. I mean, Demon in half of... Before first half was done was like 18-5 or something like that. And right now we're looking at
through 11 rounds.
0-4 in that 5th round, or in the 6th round now.
Demon did slow down a lot. I say second half they played like 3 rounds, but he only found 1 or 2 kills the last 5 or 6 rounds, but his team was farming, which is the reason he couldn't find a kill, because there was no kills to be found. This time around, though, slightly different story. Demon, honestly, at this point, I'm kind of down for this kind of play. The flash is perfect, and the Bucky. That is exactly how you have to play around the Yoru. Get up close and personal. Send the flash, gate crash, and you're going to find a few picks for yourself there. You get an operator for your trouble.
And you're at 26 health, too. So having the one-shot boomstick does feel good.
If you can escape the round with this as well now, and you have dimensional drift next round,
for the economy.
Baker can fix a whole lot of problems here.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want to not use these ultis to defend, though.
And they might even not use the op on the attacking side, but just taking it away from someone like Easy on the chamber is a huge boon to your team. Skrigi pops that double tap. Wants to take this fight, wants to get aggressive. Demon has to TP back, but it's only Skrigi, and there's 2 targets to try and shoot at right there. A thrifty round from Baker. I think all they really bought into that round was some SMGs and the Bucky, of course. And yeah, great plays out of the dark cover. Flashes up like 3 players, and everyone just cleans house there.
Listen, can't get a kill, go for the Yoru cheese.
Look at this.
How can play?
Even Easy back there, flashed up, just trying to jump around the corner. and you're able to bring that op into this next round. I do want to see if they keep it, and it looks like, oh no, Demon's got the Outlaw.
Oh yeah.
They tossed it away.
Oh, Yahtzee by Screegy.
Now, why would you toss away the op just to pick up the Outlaw? Is that not just strictly worse?
Because if you were to lose that op again,
and
they're
true.
on defense, you're just making your life miserable for the next possibly 3 to 4 rounds. Like, miserable.
I guess just tossing it away out of the game.
Especially when
take out that,
in
what,
the game.
4,700 it is now, or something along those lines.
Yeah,
51?
Chamber, 47.
Yeah, 47, okay.
51 would be insane.
No, it was 45, and then it went to 47.
Yeah.
That's what I'm remembering.
They're like, maybe this gun's strong. Oh, really?
NJS can... Oh, that's Rusty. I thought we were on a Baker POV for a second there.
When did Baker get a fade?
Cannot tell my blues from my reds, apparently.
It's harder as you get older.
I'm young and spry, okay? At the ripe old age of 21. I might as well be a boomer in esports at this point.
That's apparently how it works, and Baker, this is a much better round out of them. I don't think the weaponry was exactly where UCSB wanted it. Rusty getting shouldered behind rubble. The Outlaw for Demon online and cooking, and the paint shells. Nice job out of Rusty. You found yourself 2. How much more can you find? If Baker wants to swing 1 by 1, he'll be more than happy to scoop up some kills, but they're going to get that round settled and done. Bring that lead only to 1 for the side of UCSB. Economy should be in a decent spot for him for UCSB. Looks like they're going to have enough money to full buy everything back up. Easy's going to get that operator. It'll be a tour de force back-to-back next round, but definitely the run that Baker needed to have. That was a slow start for him. And I mean, Demon, right? 0 kills, 5 kills last 2 rounds. And they won the last 2 rounds. Coincident?
I think not.
I guess Demon and Nami have 7 out of the last 10 kills.
Demon and Nami are back in the fray, right? They were both sitting at like 0-4, 0-5. And now they are just cooking. And the last 2 rounds have been a breeze for Baker. Easy's back on the operator. It's not out just yet. But not playing as aggressive towards Mound like they were prior.
I think they know there's a very good chance the operator is back into the fold. I mean, whenever there's a chamber and you see the other team has money, you're just assuming that there's going to be an op and or he picks up an orb, gets the tour de force over by Mound if they play for it. So it can be very dangerous for him. This time, though, it's a bit of a split push out of Baker. They're sending the Yoru over to C to make a lot of noise, and NJS going to avoid getting spotted. Rusty does take down Demon, so the lurker over on C not going to find any value, and I think that might mean that UCSB has an inkling that the A site is going to be the one targeted. The Haunt getting destroyed is going to confirm those suspicions.
Yeah, I don't think there's any surprises coming through in this next round as the B site plant goes through. Easy in this corner with the Headhunter. Nightfall does come through, and it basically means Easy has what might as well have been walls in that situation. Easily spots that out, and with pretty well just 1 ult used up, they find that retake. Little to no resistance on that one. The Nightfall was crucial there to bring them back to a 2-round lead, and a second map that has been a far cry from the first, with UCSB feeling real confident on their map pick. And
I love those games.
Far Cry. Oh, I was like, where are we?
Where are we at?
What in that sentence did I say that was...
Well, me and Josh have a 25-page script for each... We just got to hit our notes for each broadcast.
Yeah, exactly. It involves, like, Step Brothers references.
At 2:18:22, you make this joke, I laugh for 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
I look at Ryan, he laughs. Check the observers. Right now, Baker, they're getting active with the ultimates, and I honestly wish we would have seen one of the ultimates last round. I feel
Easy? The gun blocked his sightline.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but that's the way she goes. Operator will be down for the count. They possibly could go to retrieve that one. The Armageddon going to get active. Nami's got a 2-piece. Yeah, my support is shooting. 3K for the Omen so far. Rice Ball's got the plant. Screegy's going to play the bottom side of drop.
Screegy, though.
Yeah, going to get the double tap activated as well, but the kills for Baker. Punches in bunches for him there. They hit that site with aggression. And that is exactly what I wanted to see out of this comp. You've got flashes, you've got speed, and you've got ways to block off sight lines. You just have to make the most of it. And they did a great job there of using a few ultimates, making sure that round gets locked in. Because even last round, I think it was a 4v4 with Plant. I would have loved to see 1 or 2 ultimates. Maybe you can try to steal that round away, tie the game, but they obviously had a good plan going into the next round, and they lived up to it.
Yeah, and you bring it back to a 1-round differential.
Can cook their cash here if they win again, too.
Yeah. Now we're finally back to like a real everyone's got rifles round. There's no ops in the mix. There's nobody on an outlaw randomly.
There is a Tour de France.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But
he earned it.
Oh, that's true. Took some time to get there, and I guess Easy at this point has that access to a boomstick just about every round. Is what it's felt like.
I think all but like the first 2.
And the 1 round where they lost the op for a sec, took another round to get back to it. Okay.
I know UCSB hears them splish splashing around over on C. That's a quite loud audio cue if you're even near Waterfall. And you see 3 weapons trained over, waiting for the default plant. Easy going for the wall bang potentially. So want to see if Baker's going to throw a shoulder or a head. Screeky getting taken out though. That's a big kill. Viper Pit in the back pocket for Baker. Rolling Thunder going to get invested. So right now Baker.
That was great. Waited for the Rolling Thunder to hit that spike because they knew the Tour de Force was in the cards. TP out of the paranoia.
Run.
Demon dodges that just barely. As the clone should pick up a lot of that util and aggression that's going through.
Yeah, don't get spammed through the pit. That is the worst way to die here.
They know everyone's just pushing through Waterfall. Demon caught out by Easy. Easy just spraying into that pit and finds the better end of it. But doesn't want to sit in here decayed for too long. Finds the 1v1 up against ladder moves. That means Pit goes down. Should get back to not full health, but some health, as they got to start making a move onto that spike. It's tied up. Baker looking back to form, especially with Demon and Nami starting to pick up some more kills. Demon has went from literally bottom of the leaderboard to now finally being above his controllers there.
Yeah, going like 5-1, 5-2 the last few rounds. And I actually don't mind Baker kind of alt-dumping them that round because they know they were going to have the worst weapons coming into this round. And they have a chance to maybe get the Omen TP, maybe get something else online if things go absolutely crazy. But you've now put UCSB on the back foot with the cash. You can take a 6-5 lead, maybe pray that you get one of those ultimates online like I was mentioning. And then all of a sudden, what was a terrible start to the first half could be a 7-5 half to end things off. And yeah, that weaponry, that's playing a factor. Screeky's going down instantly, and we see Fade already getting chipped down to half. Easy on the Headhunter playing just off to the side of Mound. But Baker right now, I think knowing they've got man advantage, they just got to try to flood something together, knowing there's a lack of util, and just go for it. And yeah, they've got info, and they've got kills.
2 more to follow as, yeah, there's a showstopper, but I think at this point you're saving that for last round to try and maybe tie it up. Of course, round's not over, but in a 5 versus 2, with little to no util to work with and little to no weaponry, really, now you have 8 shots on the Headhunter and nothing else. This is as real and as raw as it gets. There's the first one. Just has to swing these and pray that the mechanics are there. But the time is most definitely not on your side.
Yeah, he's got to play some hardcore survival here. 1 life to get all... Oh, you picked up a gun with no bullets. That just feels bad.
That's tough.
It was right idea, but unfortunately you got a little bit unlucky. Knew that was the only way to try to at least build back into the half. Or at worst, you get a few kills. Maybe you can steal away a few alt points. At least get some cash in the back pocket as well. But great job by Baker understanding they have the big advantage. So they're going to exercise it that round. And now they've got more cash than they even know what to do with. It is going to be the last round before half. Omen, TP, and Showstopper. The only 2 ultimates we're going to see from either side. It looks like everyone's a little bit too far away unless someone picks up a quick 4K and 2 orbs somehow, but that seems unlikely at the moment. Easy's going to be the one to challenge Mound. Obviously, as the TP away to safety. Stealth Drone is going to spot him. I assume Easy's going to have to TP out of here, but trying to stay in here and keep fighting, and I just don't know if that was the play.
Yeah, a little support from Screegy. I think they're like, okay, wall's coming through. Let's see what happens. Maybe you can get out alive, but alive is not where Easy ends up being. But they're not even going to force Mound just yet. Yeah, you have Demons still up there, but they can just throw the gate crash backwards and maybe even look for a 1v1 here up against someone like Screegy. Now you got to get out of there.
Yeah, 5v4, you could take the lead in the first half where you didn't play spectacularly good for the first 5-6 rounds. So that's a great play out of him. We're going to see the Shadows TP coming out of Omen. It looks like it was both Omens TPing at some point. And the tree door ends up being the revolving door of death for Ghost. And Fade's going to knock NJS down a peg as well. Skrigi, the only one playing top rope. He's going to get flashed, and he's still going to adjust and find the kill. Demon going to be knocked down. The Paranoid lands perfectly under rope. The Showstopper finds one back, so UCSB, they're making a little bit of noise this round, unfortunately. That was all the util they basically have. It's a solo blast pack for Rusty, which you can maybe try to get something done, but I see a Viper on my screen. That's a lie. I mean, Viper, Teo, Breach. They've got everything to stop this.
Yeah, actually, like all the util. I mean, no Snakebite
Poison
on
gets
Viper.
Them to one and you just spam the box.
That's the thing, yeah. You do have that opportunity. That's taken away, though, as you isolated it down to a 2v2. Rusty not living up to their name as their shots have been on point all game, but at the end of that half, the time takes away. That's the beautiful part of the spike. It puts you on the clock, and they just did not have time in their favor there.
Look at Fate this game. 15, 6, and 6. Little LeBron stat line in the first half, filling out the entire column there. The assists, the kills, obviously, I think it was a 4K.
The rebounds, of course.
Of course. Second chance points. No turnovers so far. It's been a nice, clean game with the ball. And Baker, you were down 2-1. Things weren't looking phenomenal, but they have battled back, and they definitely shown more of that map 1 Baker that we saw. I mean, the first half of this map didn't even look like the same two teams, or maybe if you swapped the nameplates, it would have been like, oh yeah, Baker's winning the Thrifty, winning the anti-eco, and going on a nice run, but they win 6 out of the last 7 there. It seems like they've just got a thing when we're going on these runs where they're only dropping a round or 2 in these long stretches, and this is now going to be a very big pistol for UCSB all of a sudden. Obviously, it's not the end-all, be-all if you lose, but considering how you started, this would not feel too good.
I have to agree with you on that one. You started off very hot here. We're able to just shut down Demon for the first
they were just
5 to 6 rounds of the game, and then Demon kind of woke up a little bit, mainly on that round with the Bucky, where things really started to move. Rusty gets in there. You still haven't taken down Rusty just yet, as they've made it onto the site with a 2-player advantage after all is said and done. Players still close by. Nami, unfortunately with the pistol, you're not shooting through with enough force to really find a kill there. And now, once again, you're the team on the timer. You got to make something work here. Dark cover comes out from the attacking side.
Say NJS has to play aggressive because Rusty being on 1 HP means they've got to send some kind of crossfire. Nami's just going to slip the dark cover completely. It's an absolute disaster for UCSB. It's a 2v1. The Paranoid's going to connect onto both, though. And now it's on Ghost, trying to find a couple of spam downs through the pings. Finds the first kill, and that's low HP onto Nami. This should be it for UCSB. It looks like Ghost is finally going to get the job done.
No time.
Not enough time. UCSB sweating. 4 HP on Nami, will die to the spike eventually, but UCSB hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, that one is a clencher is what we call that one.
Yeah, it's one of those where it shouldn't have been that hard.
No reason to be that hard on the defense, and eventually, though, Ghost cleans that one through. But yeah, this whole situation, the paranoia, I think, is what really saved Ghost there.
Oh, it won him, yeah.
It just stalled a second where that Baker side was kind of in shambles and just needed a second to regroup and wait for that near sight to actually fade. We just popped chat for a second. I saw someone say free. That's just typical Valorant.
There was some cheerful banter happening last game as well.
Of course.
Luckily, it was all most of the Valorant players, to be fair, they usually play together. Or
everyone
see
knows each other anyways.
They see each other in rank. They play tournaments. They play cash cups. Whatever else is going on. So
it's all very friendly for the most part. Just it's a competition, right? You want to talk some trash. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as it stays within the game, right? Nobody's getting personal with it.
As long as it stays within knife fights in game, of course. Like we saw last one.
In game, of course.
Rice Ball, 2K for the Teo. Oh my God, Rice Ball executing people on the backside of Mound. The Spike and 3 players no longer existent over on the C side of the map, and that is exactly what Baker was looking for. Seems like every team that wins the pistol today just destined to lose the next round. I think it's happened on 3 out of 4 maps.
And, yeah, it might happen again in this second half here. I mean, the first half, not gonna lie, is 4K for Rice Ballin. NJS picks up the spike, and Rice Ballin is going hunting Nami right now. don't think they have any audio cues, at least from NJS, but now they know exactly where they're at. TP out of there, and all this Tejo util is going to fly through. Nami, you better not be taking those shots as Rightfallen picks up the ace on, not the pistol round, but the follow-up.
They have courage, but no.
And now, yeah, once again, another map where we have one of the halves, the pistol, followed up by the opposite team or the losing team on the pistol.
Not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, exactly. Now, 4 times.
I've got 10 cents.
10 cent? They own this game.
That is true.
That's where all your skin money goes.
Hell yeah.
There.
All right. UCSB. Finding yourself in a situation you probably didn't expect after the pistol and after that first half, but here you are nonetheless, and you're getting taken out by Riceball. Easy, though, with the chamber. That headhunter, tried and true, directly in the center of Demon's forehead there to find the headshot. Evolves it into a 4v4. Easy still looking to get a few shots in. Riceball has been absolutely smurfing the last few rounds, though. Nami's good for the 2K. Gotta be careful taking this 1v1 against Easy. This is not a free kill by any stretch. As I say that, you get a flash, you get triple jumping, right click. Nami's got a 3K, and UCSB, you're now down 9-6 in a game where you realistically might have been up 8-7 if that second round goes a different way. Or I guess 8-8, something.
Yeah, Easy starts that one off with a pretty good pick, and then the rest just kind of falls apart, and there is no more cruising down the street for Easy there.
What happened to his eye?
Well, yeah, actually, what happened?
Arr, matey. To the Pirates of the Caribbean music.
Running away from, like, some tribes on a deserted island.
Yeah, and Demon, living up to the namesake, absolute menace to the corner of Rusty there. That is an early pick over on Mound. That is going to make life a lot harder for the side of UCSB to kind of gain entry to the site. Instead, though, yeah, maybe not. They're just going to go for it. Screegy pops the armor and instantly going to find the kill on the ladder, so no Viper. Honestly, not a bad trade, all things considered. I think they are going to go for the C plant here. Easy's just going to play the backside of Mound for the rotations. Everybody else right now looks like Waterfall and that CT spawn, and then maybe Nami just trying to link up in mid here. I could see Easy either going to get nothing here or eventually just going to double back and catch a timing, but just making sure no one's going to be up to any funny business. It is Lotus.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
One time you don't check.
Exactly. Yeah. Every single corner's got to be checked. Ooh, Fate just narrowly dodges the paranoia, but kind of splits the attention between 2 targets. Nami picks up 2, still alive in this one as the kills go over to Easy in the end. A nice spray transfer to finish off that round and keep themselves pretty alive and in this game. Baker, a little bit of a comeback there in the first half, but definitely still being given a run for their money.
Yeah, listen, they definitely showed this map especially. They're not going to go down without a fight, whether it's Easy or Screegy needing to just completely go Thanos nuclear mode to try to find 3 and 4Ks, or Easy doing a great job, even when he's not finding the flashy 2K. Finding those entry picks onto Demon has found him 3 or 4 times in the early stages of the round. Having that Yoru unavailable for those fights, I mean, we've seen the difference. The rounds that Demon lived, they ended up winning pretty handedly with the flash and the gate crash, so this Yoru, now in the Dimensional Drift, a lot of powerful ultimates for UCSB as well. Tour de Force Nightfall, definitely nothing to scoff at. Demon, though, information overload.
Yeah, knows everything, but is kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place there as, yeah, you had Easy on the flank, and Demon had really nowhere to go off of that ult. It leads to player advantage for UCSB as a lot more kills go through, and Easy, the last rounds have just been an Easy show. I think that's 2 in this round now. Make it a 3rd to clean things up, as they're getting darn close to tying things up here. Santa Barbara wanting to bring this to a 3rd map.
I think Easy might have a global taunt.
Yeah.
It seems like every time they're trying to go Chalub somewhere, somehow, and he's getting the 2 freest kills of all time. Even when it doesn't seem like it's going to be that possible, even for a chamber, but this is the performance you're looking for, and now this is UCSB's half. They are set up wonderfully. You've got some money. You've got 5 ultimates essentially online when Screegy gets an orb or 1 more kill or 1 more round of game passes. Sheriffs and a Stinger for the side of Baker. We're definitely looking at what is projected to be a 9-9 game with the ultimate advantage tilting toward Santa Barbara, but there is still a round of Valorant to be played. We have seen Thrifties, we've seen round 2 bottle jobs, so there's definitely a chance here to make some noise for Baker. But right now, UCSB, I think they kind of know that might be on the menu, maybe some kind of trap or execute play to try to get one of these lurkers. So they are just going to sit back, sniff around B. Once they figure out it's clear, that's going to be a very nice site to take. Maybe we throw the nade for a little distraction?
Possibly. I think Rusty right now,
I guess you don't really need to.
just happy to clear out some of these angles. Sitting on the other side of this door is...
Got the paranoid
I
in his
see
hands.
a breach sitting right there.
They're paranoid flash.
Ready.
They have both.
In the close range, it's Fate who finds the first one as Spike Plant does go down over towards that B side. You're one player up for this retake, but the weaponry is not on your side.
Yeah, that Nightfall's going to be a little dangerous as well because that thing covers about half the map, especially on B. It's covering all of B and then a little extra, so you're not going to have an easy way to start the defuse without fighting through an absolute
Or
war.
just stick it.
There is no way that Baker is going to stick this. There were 9 players alive at the time of the defuse, and not only that, insult to injury, Baker just ran them down after the fact. I honestly cannot believe. I was like, surely he'll die. They have pings. They've got pings. They've got pings. And they didn't have bullets. Look at, just missed Nami. And then Demon with a classic is distracting everybody.
Yeah, like you're too concerned about Demon.
One player with the Sheriff thwarts 4 pushing from B main.
That was the ballsiest play I've ever seen just to stick that, and I love it from Nami. Nami did die just after.
They had bad guns too. They're like, if I die, screw it.
Yeah, what am I going to lose? 800 credits on a Sheriff?
Wow.
And in the end, you bring yourself back to a 2-round lead,
hit
that double digits.
They had all those ults. Oh, now they're using them.
Now you burn up the ulties, but what does it even mean at this point? A lot of it was used on just about nothing there. I mean, luckily you still do have a showstopper alive. Who'd he catch is the real question.
I don't think any.
Yeah?
Oh, no, he did. He caught Rice Ball.
And Rice Ball lives that one through. Strigi has been good in the 1v1s, but maybe just not in the Shadow Realm. Has had a tough time over there.
And Rice Ball maybe not the one to take either. Rice Ball has been finding kill after kill after kill, and Rusty barely making it off the drop box, throws the paint shell. It doesn't matter because the salvo ends up taking him out, and then NJS falling at the exact same frame. And all of a sudden, UCSB was literally, they had the world in their hands, and all of a sudden, it is collapsing around them. And Baker, I think they may have forced UCSB back onto a save. It looks like that is going to be the case for the most part. NJS, maybe a Guardian there, maybe a few Vandals, but the money's not good. And 3 ultimates, they insta-popped 2 ultis that round, which is fine. They both become zoning tools. You get the free plant. Skrigi takes the 1v1 against the top frag. And granted, with the ISO ultimate, you take who you can take if the lineup is there, but taking in a Teo that is 22-9 and has ran your entire team 3 or 4 times over. Definitely an interesting decision, but Baker, they're more than happy with it. And Nami's even happier right now because he is shooting. Instantly gets 2 off drop. Trades do go back and forth, so at least UCSB gets something out of it, but damn, you're down 3 already. And your chamber's hurt.
After sticking that defuse, I think Nami's like on a high right now.
Listen, rough start to the map.
Willing to take every fight and mainly winning them out, always being good for more than the one.
Oh no, the Viper wall's up. I thought they had a line of sight on the spike from there. I think the Viper wall. Oh, I think it's down right now.
But you have to walk over.
They know where it is, I think.
Outlaw, there's the first.
1v1.
Gotta take down the eye. Ooh, there it is, the flick from Demon.
Snap that.
To bring him to match point. One of the toughest games that we've seen Baker have in this series, and they've managed to bring it to match point, and everything flipped on its head.
Every single thing that could possibly go wrong has gone wrong the last 4 rounds. Bad timings, missed ultimates, unfortunate clutches.
The defuse.
The retakes not
it all
being
flipped
there.
off of that defuse, I'm telling you.
No, it was like earlier in COD, the Simp got the 1v4, FaZe was getting wrecked, he got a 1v4, they haven't lost a map since.
Yeah.
Just sometimes your team needs to have that momentum swing where someone just takes over and you're like, okay, we are going to be back, we are going to be competitive, we ran these guys, we ran the table on map 1, This time, though, I love the aggression out of Nami. You don't always have Omens playing this aggressive out of tree, but we saw that great trap play a few rounds ago with the Breach and the Omen. The Paranoid Flash gets them a kill. They can retake B. Baker just continuing to adapt on the fly. New ideas. Demon, good for the shorty with one, but it is going to be the UCSB player advantage once the dust settles. They are finally going to have the spike in their possession as well, so this is definitely a UCSB favored round, but with match point sitting against them, definitely a little stress on the shoulders, but it looks like they may have made the right call.
Shadows traveling.
And you can't have an early rotation from C either is the tough part. Odin on ladder moves.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Listen, the right lineup and this Nerf gun will take you down. Let's find out if it truly is Nerf or if it's nothing for ladder moves.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a little Buzz Lightyear action as well, but
let's see if it's Infinity or beyond.
Ladder moves has a snake bite as well. Both players kind of playing out towards Baby Door. You can see UCSB, they are just content to ensure that they play these trades. Snake bite, that's going to zone off tree, but no one's playing in tree this time. The Odin, though, nice little head tap by ladder moves. The barrel.
They spotted the barrel.
Yeah, that's
they
a
don't
big
know.
old barrel. Fate 1v1 for the map potentially. Has no idea where this Fate is. Finds the readjust, finds the aim, finds the kill, and finds the series for Baker. And we've got to have a little bit of util dump at the end. Nice little fireworks show. Cut it close on the defuse. 2.3 is all they need. And that is Baker from the back of a ninja defuse with literally 8 players alive during the duration of the defuse.
Insane.
I guess the ninja defuse and to lose 6 rounds in a row pipeline is very real.
Most definitely real.
And Baker, man, UCSB, it's honestly a shame because they looked so good. Even in the first and second half, they were playing damn near perfect. And then that happens, and I feel like it's just one of those where Baker goes, we got him.
We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Baker, yeah, that was... you said it there, right? You just need that one round. You need one play that's going to make your team. You need the entire team to scream nice, and then the momentum is just right back there. Exactly.
Fist bumps.
And Baker moves on to 5-0. Will presumably have one more match before our break week there and before playoffs. So we'll see if Baker ends up undefeated, right? The only one undefeated in this Open Premiere is another one of those Cumberland squads.
And Baker pushed them too, so clearly, definitely, looks
definitely
like
right there.
Yeah, looks like
100%. And yeah, maybe, from some of that out of collegiate experience with that Aspire X Swarm, whether it was the whole core. I know Nami didn't have that AXS, but it could just be another account. Maybe it was another player from that. Yeah. Yeah, true. Not as popular here in Valorant, but UCSB, you get knocked down to 3-3. Yep. It's going to be a tough break to try and make it into playoffs. There may be a situation where a 3-3 scoreline can get you in there, but for the most part, those dreams are most
It's out of your hands at this point.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're in the stadium watching the other games go down to see.
We're gonna make playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of teams that end up in that situation. Tiffin earlier, kind of in the same situation as well. 3-3 there in Varsity Premier. It's all out of your hands at that point. The dreams may be dead, may be alive. You got to see what happens at the end of the season. But that wraps us up.